Okay, so we are, as promised, installing the third iteration, well, not third iteration, third type of install for the central vac that we are going to be carrying. So I did the install in Helen, which was the reel next to the canister. I did the one at OG in the garage, which is the reel under the canister under the reel. This one we're doing an in-wall hide a hose. So I've already cut the drywall. I've got our 2-inch OD central vac line tied into the wall box. And then what ends up going in next is going to be the hide a hose deal. So this just basically slips in like this. These wires, and then this is the control wire, by the way. This is what turns on and off the vacuum. So you have a little switch here that turns it on, and then this is what releases the hose and clamps the hose when you get it pulled out as far as you want. So pretty slick. It's got an O-ring on there, and then so what we'll do is I'll end up tying these wires together. It's just control wire, so it's not high voltage or anything. So this goes in here, and then it just slides up in the tube. This floats, and they give you a rubber band with it, so it kind of holds it in place until you get it installed. Anyway, finished product will look like that. So obviously I'll fill all this drywall and mud it and everything. So, and your hose will suck up right into this, and then you lock it when you have it out as far as you want. I think that's lock position there. Anyway, so it's pretty slick. So this is what I have left to install on this end, finish the drywall, and I'll take you guys up in the attic and show you what's going on up there. My helper, Michelle Mormon, everybody, you know. Anyway, so let's go up there and I'll show you what we're doing up there. So before I get up there, so what it is there's a 50-foot, I believe it's 50 foot, I have to verify that, but I'm 99% sure it's a 50-foot hose that draws up inside the pipe. So what I have to do is use these large radius 90s for at least the first 50 feet. And that, because if you use a tight 90, the hose is gonna bind. So I'm gonna use these large radius 90s. So I have one coming like this out the top, going that way. And then I'll have another 90 going this way, right? To start traveling this way. And then one last 90 at the other end, because basically I'm gonna kind of go around the garage in the attic. And that'll give us our 50 feet so that the hose can draw up inside the pipe. And then after that, what goes on there is there's a stopper. I think I have it out here. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. So this goes at the end of the 50 feet, close to the end of 50 feet. So I have to measure it out, make sure it's all, they're 8-foot sticks, so I can easily figure out how much pipe I've got up there before I need to put this in. What this does is, let's say the hose is drawing towards this, so vacuum's on this side, hose is on this side. So it's got to stop in here. So if for some reason the cuff were to come off the hose, I think that's what they were thinking. If the cuff were to come off of this end, because the cuff is what stops it from sucking up too far. Well, the hose will only go so far, and then the ring that's on the end of the hose, and I can show you the hose over there, it'll stop here and prevent the hose from drawing so far in. That way you can at least probably reach up there and fish it out and pull it back down. So anyway, this will go on the other end of 50 feet. So let's go, we can go look at the hose. So this is the hide a hose. So this is the end that draws up inside. And as you can see, that's a stop. So the pipe diameter is just a little bit smaller than this. So that hose would just keep on trucking if that cuff were ever to come off. So this being at the end of 50 feet, it'll stop there. So that's the theory behind that. And John's garage up in Atlanta area, he already had the system installed. The central vac company, I guess, came and did it. So I got to play with it, but it was already installed. So let's see if, so this is on the end of the hose. So yes, it does stop right there. And that's, like I said, I think the theory is if this were to ever unthread, your backup plan is this at the other end so the hose doesn't get drawn in too far. So anyway, put this back on the hose, then we'll go up in the attic and I'll show you how I plan on routing the pipe. So there's the rest of it. I think we have 10 sticks of 10 8-foot sticks. So that's, you know, it's more than we need. I'm gonna try to do it just over the 50 feet mark, because the less pipe the better, because you do get what's called friction loss if you run it too long. I mean, the chances of this coming off is pretty slim, but yeah, it's a good backup plan. All right, so we're in the attic now. This is our main electrical panels over here, which is what all the house wiring is going to. Here's our pipe coming out of the top plate of the wall. This is our sweeper. So I'm gonna run it this way, pretty far down there. I'm gonna kind of estimate, I'll get a tape measure up here and estimate about where 50 feet will end up. So I'm gonna run a 90, the long radius 90 here, one this way, and then another one this way, and then straight back. And then I should have our 50 feet. Then I can use just a regular 90 to get to the vacuum. Because then at that point, once we're at the end of the hose, it doesn't matter what size, what radius 90 you use. Anyway, we've got our control wire. This will run over to the vacuum cleaner. That's our remote on off for the vacuum. So my plan is just to get this routed, get it wrapped around, get over there, plumb it into the vacuum. And then we'll walk over here. I'll show you. There's a 20 amp circuit I already ran over here for the stairs. I don't think they're called Magic Stairs. I can't remember the brand, but anyway, I already have a 20 amp circuit up here. So I will tie into that and run it over to the vacuum. So let's walk over there and I'll show you where I plan on putting the vacuum and where I'll put the plug. Okay, so this is a platform for Matt's storage area. So where it's coming out of the wall is down here, right? So what I'm planning to do is going this way. I'm gonna 90, and then come back here where I've got this pipe kind of laid in here. I'm gonna come back this way, wrap around, 90 again, and then right into this side of the vacuum. So I'll 90 and I'll come right across these trusses, probably down low, and this will be the suction side of the vacuum. And then power, it comes with a power cord. So what I'll do is, because I have a 20 amp run for the stairs, I'll tie into that and I'll put a box. Let's see, where's the plug on this? It's on the back side, kind of over here. So I'll probably put a receptacle right on this truss here and we'll plug right into it. And then that way you can get up here easily, change the filter, vacuum. There's the top for it. Filter bags inside, and then we'll end up putting an exhaust muffler here. I mean, not that it needs it up in the attic, but we'll put one on. Anyway, so that's the plan. So it's pretty simple. It's just a matter of plumbing to it, getting your electrical to it, and then running our remote on off, which is also very simple. It's just a couple of connectors. There's you can see here, they are spades. So right here. So you put your spade connectors on there, and once you, basically, if you were to short across this, the vacuum would turn on. So that's what we're gonna tie to. And there's a micro switch down the hide hose that you flip on, and that turns the vacuum on. Pretty simple and straightforward. All right, so that's pretty much how I plan on installing it. What we'll do is I'll get it probably wrapped up and then bring you guys back, and then we'll kind of show after the install is complete, show you what it looks like, and then I can show you how it works. So it'll probably take me the rest of today and a little bit of Monday. Today's Friday. I've got some drywall repair I'll have to do. So we'll probably come back over here Monday, do a wrap-up video, show it how it all works, and yeah, we'll take it from there. If I was gonna pick one of the three, I would take the 92, and then followed by this one here, followed by that scooter, and then the G80.
Yeah, G80 last.
G80. Now, if I could get it, if I was given it and I got to sell it, then obviously I'd take the G80, and then I'd sell it and I'd buy one of those. Yeah, and then keep the extra money.
That's my economics.
Yeah, that is. All right, so I completed the hide hose install. So as you guys saw earlier in the video, I had this all cut open, 3 spots to allow me to pass the 2-inch OD vacuum line pipe through it. So that's all capped off, or finished off, mudded, painted. So the last thing to do was to install the actual hide hose, which there was a second piece that's in the drywall, that's behind the drywall, that's screwed into studs. There's a stud right here, stud here. There's a couple of ears that drop off the inside of the box that you screw that to the studs, drywall around it, and then this install is really for a new install. Like if you were building a house, you'd do this, but we ended up retrofitting it by cutting the drywall, which you can do. They also make a surface mounted version where the pipe would run down the wall. There's a box on the exterior, and then this piece, this hide hose portion, goes into that box. But to have it more custom, this is the way I would want it done. And I'm gonna do it in my house too. So anyway, so how it works is this will turn the vacuum on, and then you can pull the hose out wherever you want it to go. But if you want to pull it easy, you turn the vacuum off. So it's got 50 feet of hose inside, and then to roll it up, all you do is turn it on, And then if you cap the hose, it goes in like that. So that's how you do. And also when you get it out where you want it, you can lock it here, and that way it won't tug out anymore. So this, I mean, even where this is at right now, there's what, 30, the garage is 35 feet, this is 50, so you could easily go all the way to this side and, you know, maybe out into the driveway if you wanted to. So this goes through 3 90s before it gets to the 50-foot mark. They gave us 4, but I was trying to use, you know, as few as I could so there's less friction. So the more 90s you have, the more friction there's going to be, which means that it's going to have a harder time sucking the hose in. It's not going to go in as fast. So as you pull this thing out, way out, it's really easy. It draws in really fast, but let's see, I'll show you. But as it gets towards the end, because we're using the full length, it gets a little slower. So if you were to run 190 in a long straight 50-foot section, it would have little to no friction. But here we go. See, the last about that much is a little slower because it hit the third 90. But you can easily make it go faster if you just do this. And that's it. And then when you do this, it shuts off. Because there's a little tab on the inside of this door that hits the microswift and shuts it off. So anyway, I'll go show you upstairs. All right, so we're up in the attic now. The vacuum is here. And as you can see, it runs this way and then comes around this way and loops around this, you know, room for the AC units, air handlers, I should say. So the other key too is you want to keep the pipe that the hose is inside on the same plane. So what you want to do is come up and do that long bend radius 90 and then keep everything on the same plane. And once the hose is into the vacuum, you can then step it down to another plane, but you don't want to make it have to give more rises or descents. You want to keep it as flat as you can so it's less friction on the hose. So, and you can see there's a stop that I installed right here. This is about the 50-foot mark right here. So there's a stop in here. This piece fits in between your coupler and your 2 pieces of pipe, and that's at 50 foot 6 inches or something like that. So if the hose cuff ever were to come off, the hose is going to want to just suck into the pipe. So this is a stop, so it can only go so far. You could theoretically bend a little coat hanger or something, reach up there and grab the hose and pull it back out. Not that the cuff would ever come off, but I think that's what that's for. And the hose does stretch too when it's being sucked, so I can kind of feel it tap this and then draw the last few inches of the hose into the hide-a-hose thing. So anyway, that goes in, and you can see here, you can see the pipe is on the same plane. It goes this way, straight through, and then it's going to go out that way about another 8 feet and take a 90. So we'll go show you that from back here. I mean, it's really, really simple to install. The pipe is super light, and it just gets glued together with some clear PVC cement. Okay, so the pipe comes up out of the wall right here. That's at that's 8-foot stick. So it comes up and radius 90 this way, and then it goes another 8 feet, 90s that way, goes 16 feet, then turns again and comes back over there. So it basically makes a loop, and that's just so we could get the 50 feet of hose in. Otherwise I could, you know, obviously the shortest path would have just been come out of here and go right to the canister, but that wouldn't have hid the hose. So, and the other thing too is we have a wire that comes from the hide-a-hose, and it's the remote on-off for the vacuum. So that comes around, and it's a 24 volt. There's a 24 volt relay in here, and you can see the back side right here. There's our connection for the remote on-off. So you just have a couple of spades, male spades that are inside the vacuum, and you put these female spade terminals on the end of the wire, and that's your switch closer to remote turn on off vacuum. The switch still works here, but you would never use it in this application. So, and the switch stays off because they're in parallel. So either one closes, it's going to turn on. Then this is the cap for the other, you know, because you can have inlet or suction on either side of this vacuum. So it comes with a cap. So if you use this side, you put the cap on here, and then the muffler will go here. We have a muffler on order. Not that he needs it because it's up in the attic, but What else? I run, we had a 20 amp circuit that I already ran up here for the Magic stairs, or for the stairs. They're not Magic stairs, they're a different brand. But anyway, so I tied into that circuit, ran another 20 amp receptacle here so that the vacuum plugs in there. That's all there is to it. It's literally just sticking it somewhere, plumbing it, getting power to it. That's it. And so there's the only spot I had to drop it to the same level as the vacuum. And these are the longer radius 90s. I used the fourth one here because the bigger the sweep, the less friction loss you have. Anyway, it's super clean, super easy to do. So this is the third install. So we've done one in Helen, one at OG at the garage, and one here, and we've done them all differently. So there's 3 different ways I think people would install them. The only thing we haven't done is the surface mount install, but it's going to be basically the same as this, except that you'd see the box, the hide a hose box, and the pipe on the exterior of the wall. Other than that, it would be the same install as this. So yeah, so that's it. That's a wrap. It's pretty cool. And then I think when we do offer this on the site, we're going to offer it in such a way that depending on the install you're going to be making, we can kind of tailor, or you can buy a kit that's customizable for your application. So for instance, this one, you're going to need special radiuses because you're doing a hide a hose, versus if you just did a regular install, you could use tighter bend 90s, things like that. So when I'm pretty sure that the way we're going to have it set up is if it's going to be a hide a hose install, we're going to give you everything necessary that you would possibly need to install it here. If you're going to do a surface mount, same thing. If you're going to do just a wall mount, similar thing. It's going to be far less parts if you do just a wall mount solution. But anyway, we should have that up on the site, I think, not too long. We've been wanting to launch it now that we've got all the installs done. I think we can offer great solutions for everybody depending on your application. So that's pretty much it. I'm happy with it. I can't wait to do it at my house now. Probably do that soon. I do. I'm doing everybody else's, Mike. Never mind. I have plenty of things I want to do at home. Anyway, that's a wrap. Yep, we will catch you on the next one. I'm going to play with this thing now that we're done. I'm going to clean some things. Matt's garage is so dirty, I have to clean it. I'm going to vacuum. I found some dust particles over here somewhere. That's it. Pretty slick, huh? Way better than a reel, I think. You know, if you want total clean look, you know. But some people like the look of a reel and everything outside. So either way, you can't lose.